So I skipped the battle tutorial because I've already played it, so I know how to do it. If you want, you can go through it. It's a lot of talking, mostly, and the dialogue in this game is a little dry. So I figure I'll just tell you how to fight. So do right trigger. You go into combat mode. See how the weapon's drawn, and I'm kind of stalking. Hitting it again, hitting right trigger again, brings you back into movement mode. You can run around and do those combat actions like kick. So
let's go.
If you move towards something, it'll get a target, and when it turns red, you're within range safely. A attacks, pretty simple. Yeah, so you want to switch between combat and movement mode often-ish, because combat mode's a lot slower. Okay, so over in the corner is the health bar, and the little like notches that are gaining, it's called con. And for Juto, he has strength con, so it builds up his get attacked things. And right now I have 1. So if you look over there, there's it says like hit X to do skyward hammer. Those are special attacks. So try that. There you go, it's skyward hammer. And of course, as they level up, they get other attacks, and it gets more interesting. Okay, so here, let me try and overheat. So that middle bar there, see how it fills up? Well, if you attack too many things, or even just swing wildly, so if I just keep attacking, it keeps filling up, right?
I gotta do this.
If you go into overdrive, then you overheat. And when you overheat, I can't move right now. Now I can move. So until you get halfway through the overheat, you can't move. So you're completely vulnerable. The upside to overheating is right before you overheat, you get to do more damage. And later, when you have more party members, there's a whole strategy to overheating and then doing combo attacks. But right now, you can't do that because you only have you. So we'll do a little bit more on that later. So yeah, that's the basics. I mean, you just get near something, hit right trigger to attack, hit A to physically attack them. Watch your overheat, and if you want to do special moves, it's X. Yeah, and when we have more special moves, there'll be a little more to it. There's scrolling through them and whatnot, but for now, that's all.
Juto, are you slacking off again?
Nope, not at all. Today I did every last thing that Melissa told me to do.
Melissa, huh? She's a fine-looking gal. She's spunky and has her act together, too. If I was 10 years younger, I'd snatch her up myself.
You'd regret it later. Trust me on this.
Good one, Juto. Come to think of it, how's the memory? Anything?
Nothing at all.
But you've been looking a whole lot healthier lately. The name Juto fits you perfectly.
But isn't Juto the name of a kind of weed?
It's a grass that's chock full of vitality. Melissa sure has a knack for naming things. It's her way of saying, get your memory back soon and become as tough as a weed.
Tough as a weed seems kind of lame if you ask me. I bet my real name is a lot more normal.
But you can't remember what it is. Show her some gratitude for giving you a name and teaching you how to use a wooden sword.
Now that you mention it, how come you can't use a real sword, Juto? Were you in a war before you lost your memory? Or did somebody take a swing at you with one or something?
Boy, when I look at this fella, the only thing I can see him doing on a battlefield is running away.
What? You guys get your kicks making fun of me?
Come on, you know that I'm just kidding, right? Besides, if a war happens to break out, the Southern forces will come in and help us.
I hope you're right. I knew it. I can't do it. I can't pick up a real sword no matter how hard I try. Why?
You know, you might not remember it, but I bet you fought in a war. I bet it must have been terrifying to see so many people dying. Maybe that's why you're scared of real swords, things that hurt people.
Really?
If real swords are no good, then let's start with a wooden sword.
I'm sorry. I'm just not good for anything.
Don't worry about it. You'll be able to use one properly someday. After all, weapons aren't meant to hurt others. They're meant to protect yourself.
Did I fight in the war? For some reason, I still can't bring myself to touch a real sword. Thanks to Melissa, I can use a wooden sword. But for some reason, I still can't pick up a real one to use as a weapon. I don't think it has anything to do with my past, but I want to know why I can't pick up a real sword. I just want to know what in the world happened to me.
What are you spacing out for? Are you really sulking?
I'm not a kid, you know. I was thinking about something. I'm going back. Keep up the good work, old-timers.
Oh, hey, have you heard? They say the princess is coming to the village today.
What? Really?
They say she's the leader of that counter-sentinel unit that was put together to fight those terrible sentinels. Plus, rumor has it that she's also a beauty, so everybody's in high spirits.
Impressive. I'm gonna see for myself.
Okay, so, Bilter there mentioned the shelled clappers. I figure, you know, I'll show you how to effectively use overdrive to kill one. So when you're in movement mode, you can kick, and so you kick it, and it comes out. You want to go into combat mode.
Let's go!
And you attack this guy. What you want to do is get as close to overdrive as possible, and then activate Skyward Hammer. And that should have been a little more effective than it was. But as you can see, he lost a lot more health.
Nicely done!
So it made him much more killable. I mean, I didn't lose any health or anything. So anyway, let's keep moving. So if you're worried about those combat actions in movement mode, they don't come into play too often, and it's pretty obvious when you need to use them, if you need to use them. So don't worry too much about them. I don't really know why they bothered to make it a constant little thing at the bottom of the screen that you have to see, because they really don't get used too much. Like, I mean, you can go up and kick one of these things, and it's about the only thing you ever get from kicking something is that healing seed right there. Which all the other shells don't have anything in them. Trust me, I like kicking stuff. Alright, let's go meet the princess.
guy's really big.
Your Highness!
What happened to you?
At the caverns! A Northern Forces elite unit!
Mayor, please tend to this soldier's injuries.
What is the meaning of this? Northern Forces are in the Windsong Caverns?
They seem to be after the Guardian.
The Guardian? They've launched a direct attack on the caverns?
Please, don't worry. We will set out for the caverns at once. But to do so, we will need someone to come along and guide us there.
I'll go.
Juto! But wait, you're...
A while ago, Melissa said she was going to the caverns. I want to see if she's safe.
Melissa is there? Why now?
Whenever you're ready.
But Juto can still only use a wooden sword.
We have no intention of involving a civilian in a battle. We only ask that he guide us to the caverns.
Are you sure you'll be all right, Juto?
Gramps, I won't do anything crazy, so you don't need to worry.
Thank you. I'm Zephy. My real name is Rizafilda, but everyone calls me Zephy. This is Argo. He's one of the Trewa people.
I'm Juto, ma'am.
Very well then. Please show us the way to the caverns, Juto.
Okay, so they're standing right there. They're just, you can talk to them, but they just say, take us to the caverns. So yeah, that whole guest member thing, other than this instance, doesn't really come up very much. Maybe one or two other times. It's not really important. Anyway. So, while I'm here, there is a chest right there. And just to recap, I mean, I know where I'm going, but if you ever need to look, you can always check the map. It tells you, like, where the Windsong Caverns are, and there's always the little flag and whatnot. Okay, so now they're part of the party slash guests of the party, I guess. You can talk to these guys, but they're just like, oh, Northern Forces, oh god, oh.
Juto.
Huh?
Thank you for showing us the way. You can go home now.
I'd like to come too.
What?
Would it be alright if I came with you? A girl named Melissa, who's like family to me, is in there. I think she's probably still in the caverns.
I see. We will be sure to look for her.
But
A Northern Forces elite unit and powerful monsters are inside those caverns. It's too dangerous for you.
I can use a wooden sword if that's the problem.
No offense, but that isn't enough. If you can't use a real sword, you will only get in the way.
Get in the way?
Yes. So you ought to return to the village.
If things really do get dangerous, I'll turn back. So please, let me come with you.
I told you that it's dangerous.
If I die, I won't ask you to take responsibility for me. Satisfied?
Well, that's not really the issue. Very well. But I don't want you to take any undue risks, all right?
All right.
Alright, so time to do some real fighting. And by real fighting, I mean a little more than just little crap guys. So again, these guys are a little stronger, so you might want to watch your gauge. Oh, you can switch targets by hitting the bumpers. So left and right bumper cycles through, and if you hit both bumpers together, you'll target the closest thing. So just a little something I missed before that is kind of important, actually.
I should still be able to fight with this.
Oh, yep, so I went into overdrive, so
Why don't you
now I
rest a
can't
little?
move.
I can take care of the rest.
There are a lot of barnacles. Okay, stock up on this guy. I got lots of strength cons, so I guess I can
Not done.
do some of that. The only thing to keep in mind is that using skills does move your bar, and it can move it quite a bit. Like, this is, I don't have anything in the bar. Look how much it did it right there. So, something to keep in mind. Oh, and Zeffy's healing right now, so I'm not too worried about dying or anything. Ah, some Southern Forces. Yes. Oh, so if you're far away from something and you click in the left stick, you do a dash. I've never really found it that useful, but occasionally it comes in handy. I overheated again. Okay, so here, watch. I'll click in the stick. See how he ran a little bit to get there? Yeah.
You shouldn't push yourself for me. Call me
Got a little
anytime.
overexcited and overheated again. Finish that guy off. Okay, so if I go back into movement mode, I can there's another barnacle. So if I go back into movement mode, I can talk to the soldier, and he should give me shave dice. Not really super helpful.